assuming we're not going to send the packet anymore.
Okay, there's... What's happening tomorrow?
Yes.
Test. Can you reassess test? No. Does this test, is it something more than a test? Is there something special about this test?
Indeed.
Martha, what is it?
I feel like it's better in a section that like we're looking at testing.
The first estimates of new places at school.
Okay, so if you did corrections, they're due tomorrow. Some of you, maybe 10 of you, did corrections for quiz 1 already, turned them in, I graded them and gave them back to you. If you still have not turned in corrections for quiz 1, they're due tomorrow at the start of class. If you do those corrections and you follow the instructions and they are done well, they are correct, and all of that good stuff, you may opt to have your test average replace your average for quiz 1. Those of you who switched in from other classes after we took that test, you had your own quiz 1, same deal. If you would like to do corrections, you need to correct your quiz and turn it in before tomorrow as well. I handed all those back on Friday. Some of you got them back before that. So there is that deal. Also, quiz 2 that I believe everyone had. Quiz 2, you need to do those corrections as well by tomorrow. If they are not done, you may not retake that quiz at the end of the quarter. At the end of the quarter, we let you choose to retake one quiz and one exit card. The restriction is for the quiz, you needed to have done corrections. You needed to show you went back, learned the material, figured out the mistakes, and fixed things. Minutes ago, but yes, good morning. Okay, any issues with that? Can you guys try the warm up? Like write the problem down, and packets, sorry, just a second. Packets, no more packets. By Wednesday, so within 48 hours, you need your own dedicated notebook for math. Look, it's a notebook. It's got a couple pages in the beginning already used. Love it. You need a notebook. By when? Emma, when do you need a math notebook? Wednesday. By Wednesday. Abraham, do you have a math notebook?
Of course. I have since the beginning of the year.
Hey, can you get that out then?
Why not?
That'd be spectacular.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yes.
It's so like passive aggressive between you.
The difference is she's being sarcastic and I'm not.
Hold on, let's do it wrong. It's gotta be something
The
like
thing is, you're
that.
not being sarcastic, but it sounds sarcastic because she is sarcastic.
Yeah, I don't think she knows that I'm not sarcastic. I'm never sarcastic, actually. That's not sarcasm.
That sounds sarcastic.
I actually never am. I really hate it.
I know that's your way of talking about it.
I think sarcasm is rooted in meanness, and I don't see the point of it. I actually walked in for this test. I'm gonna get an A. I did the Duff math, and I like don't know what we're doing.
X greater than 5.
I do.
I walked in. So then you're gonna do well?
What do you have?
We got this.
No, I'm away. But last time,
Is it continuous?
it was like that. On the homework, it was
I
like.
finally found out what this is.
It's not continuous. I can assure you. You wanna play with that already?
Okay. So, looking at what some people did, guys, Isaac, the question is, describe the behavior at x equals 5. Really, we're saying, is it continuous or not? How do we verify that something is continuous or that it's not?
You have to keep the limits.
Okay, the limits, where?
5. Yes, x approaches 5 on the
left and the right.
Okay, guys, so yes, 5 from the left and the right. So 5 from the left, I saw a lot of you wrote f of x. I wanted to actually see which piece of the function is the one from the left. Is it the x squared minus 13 or is it the 2x plus 2?
X squared minus 13.
Yes. So put that in. Then Isaac, you said. Oh, minus 5. Where did I get that from? Thank you. So Isaac, you said do what else?
From the right side?
We need to know from the right side.
You wrote it actually on the left, that's
Testing you guys.
I'm testing.
The other two are 12 and it is 12.
Maybe they'll take the paper tomorrow. Okay, so, Alistair, how do I get the value? What am I doing?
For the first one, just plug in 5, 25.
Guys, too much talking. Sorry.
It would be 25 minus 13, so the limit from the left is 12.
The limit from the left is 12. Perfect. Terry, how do I do the limit from the right?
You do 2 times 5 plus 2, which is also 5.
Okay, so the limit from the left equals the limit from the right, and I cannot make a conclusion. I'm not done. Eleanor, what am I missing?
For BC.
So, I would say, right, limit of f(x) as x of which is 5 and on the side of which is 5. The left. So from the left is the first equation. Right? So you would input that equation. Now you would input the equation.
What is BC?
You would do the equation, the first one, but instead of x,
Is BC like AP or IB or something like that?
AP BC Calculus
you're gonna write there
is
x squared minus 13.
a year of college math in high school.
What does BC mean? Is that like part of the class name or part of the title?
It's part of the class name. College used to run in quarters. There's fall quarter, winter quarter, spring quarter, and then summer, and whenever it took summer, they wanted summer off. So quarter 1 of calculus, quarter 2 of calculus, quarter 3 of calculus. So why is mine not called calculus ABC?
Oh,
I
then
think
you
it's
can
because
say
they thought it
limit
would
of
sound
f(x)
cohesive.
because
But
except for
BC
just 5 from
calculus
the
is the
left,
entire
the
year.
other one you're gonna say
AB calculus
Okay.
is 2/3 of a year of college calculus in high school.
Oh, so the BC implies the A?
Yeah.
Did you take
They
it?
have their first big test tomorrow.
First ink test, what is it?
Big.
Oh,
Did you take it when you were in high school?
Inspection.
What?
Did you take it when you were in high school?
I did.
Did you do well?
I did. Okay. So guys, the limit from the left equals the limit from the right, and it equals the function at that point. So what kind of discontinuity do I have? It's no discontinuity, it's continuous. Okay, yes, this is the justification. This is exactly the same question with a small, tiny little significant change. What's changed?
There's no equal sign, so now it's removable.
That's what it was.
Just be like something right there.
Okay, so guys, same work. The limit from the left equals the limit from the right. However, Nava says, but the function isn't defined anymore.
Oh, wait, wasn't there an equal?
Just change the equation.
Oh, I changed it.
So the thing was, here's exactly the same problem with one itty bitty teeny tiny yet vastly significant difference. This one has the equals, this one doesn't. Which now this continuous function became discontinuous with a removable.
She just changed the entire like question to be the same, but like
without the.
So when you guys are sitting next to each other and a little too close and you're looking at the paper next to you and it looks so much the same and you try and copy all the work off of it, you very likely might be getting everything wrong. I don't monitor cheating quite so much anymore because those of you who are doing this, you'll get the comment on your test, right answer is wrong test. Done that more than a few times.
Right answer is right test.
Yeah, and then I'm like, hey mom, let's look at what Junior did. How did he get these equations that are on the other version of the test and all the worksheets? It's my generic name for,
I know someone that went junior.
I've never actually had a junior that went by that as their name. Anyway, all right, so this is the
I taught him
difference.
how to play. But then I like got injured.
Questions? Okay, this is one that did not tend to go well on the test because it was algebra heavy. Show your setup and then solve the equation that you get. Write it down, give it a try.
I don't get in a bit sensitive about it and I don't like that.
So that's how I actually walked in for this test. I'm gonna
This
get
is
an
greater
A.
than, so if your X is
$50 says
greater
that.
than a certain point,
I'm
that's
not,
gonna be on the right.
see, I don't bet money, I bet small doses of humiliation.
Yes.
But usually, my small doses of humiliation don't work on theater types.
Well, if you can't handle it, this is.
Because I saw the play last year in My Children before
This is mine.
stage manager and crew head and stuff.
That's right.
Cool. Well, don't tell the whole
Left
class
is mine,
about
I do
bad.
plus is right.
Yeah, no, no,
That would be a big dose of humiliation.
The other way around.
no, but the kinds of things that you like to make you get up and
Because
sing
either way.
quadratic formulas.
Okay, let's do.
I would love to do
I
that.
know, see the beams, you know, like,
Here's zero.
my kinds of
If
things,
X
and most
is
people
less
embarrass
than zero,
to not be effective.
every number less than
If I do
zero is
really
gonna
well
be
though, I would love like support and like acknowledgement.
So if you do well,
Like how
I'll
far
let you
I've
get up
gone.
and sing something.
Yeah.
And every number.
I get to do performance if I do. No, but I'm saying like, I just would want you to say like, good job, you've come a long way, I'm proud of the work you've
Well, I have
accomplished.
Yeah.
various levels of
I can't
stickers.
calculate race, I don't know why you're trying to.
I have speed paint stickers with little cute hearts around them, they're like happy little pigs.
Are they based on how well you do or how well you've done compared?
Well, it's, you need an A,
Okay.
and like the more difficult the test, or the more rare the A, you might get like a reusable shape sticker.
Oh.
So it's something to look for.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you usually just for an assessment? Probably not.
I love that.
Because, probably graduation, but, they took away a program that managed marketing guys and got over now, so, I mean, we have, and it does.
Yeah, I saw it on my computer.
Yeah, it does,
And from there it's so
irritating things, like, other teachers turn it on for the day, and it's like.
I cheated once in 3rd grade and I felt so bad. I told the teacher before this was even done and I have not cheated since then.
Lost me a long time ago. Oh my god, you know, I have something similar to that in 3rd grade. They caught me cheating. It was the worst way of cheating ever.
Who was it?
And then I started crying. I was like, also in 3rd grade, like,
What was it?
Okay, so Abraham, up here. So just like the warm-up, I want to make this continuous. So what has to be true to make it continuous?
You need to have there be x. You need to have x minus 2. Like you need to have that exist on the function.
Okay, and do I have equals on one of these things?
Yeah, so it should be good.
Okay, well, it doesn't. Should be good. Well, I need to check the limit from the left, and I need to force it to equal the function there, and it needs to equal the function from the other side. So Abraham, we're gonna go for this again, right? The left side of -2, is it the top function or the bottom function, and how can you tell?
It's gonna be the It's gonna be the one that's ever less than -2.
So is it the top or the bottom?
Wait, I have to think about this logically. Wait, because the alligator.
Or decimals.
It's the top one, yeah. Because I think about like the alligator.
Yep.
I don't think that was
Alligator.
complicated. People would leave it on.
Emilio. So this is what needs to be true for it to be continuous. Abraham said that there is an equal, so it's not gonna be a removable. If anything, it might end up being a jump. How do I find out what this piece is? What does this equal?
Plug tip to it.
Okay. So when I plug in -2, what do I get?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
18. That's 14.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, sorry, 14 plus 4A.
okay.
And then divide by 4.
Why would I divide by 4?
Isolate A.
Do I have another side of the equal sign yet?
No.
No, so right now this is just an expression. I don't have an equation. I can't do anything else with this. So this is, so I'm worried because there's an X and an A. The reason this notation is written this way, I'm plugging -2 in for X. I don't know what A is yet. That's the point of the problem, is I want to solve for A. So this is like, if I have 7 dimes and 4 other coins, how much money do I have? You don't know yet. Because I haven't told you what those other coins are. Maybe they're quarters, maybe they're pennies, maybe they're nickels. You don't know yet. Emery, this side, those guys are all the same. What do I get when I plug in the X value?
I
of
didn't quite
interest?
get that far because I got kind of stumped on the first one.
Okay, well,
Or
look
before,
at it.
though, I think.
How do I do it?
You put -2 in where X is, so it would be, squared minus 8. 4.
So -2 squared is 4.
Yeah.
4 times 3 is 12.
Minus
12
8.
minus 8 is 4. And then we need to remember what we did on the very first thing. For it to be continuous, I need them to be equal. So Emilio, now I have an equation. 14 plus 4A equals 4. Danny, what do I do to solve for A?
First you move the 14.
How do I move the 14?
You subtract 14, and then you minus 14 moves.
Then what?
And then, you divide 4 on both sides.
So A is -5/2, or -2.5. So using the knowledge that we had from the warm-up, what forces these things to be on the left side and the right side and at that function spot? What makes them be equal when A is -5/2? This is algebra. You still need to be able to do algebra. Don't be confused by 2 different letters. Part of the point of this notation is so that you have an idea of what to do. Alex?
After getting 2.5 or -2.5, what,
You're done,
alright,
because the question asked,
at what value, okay.
using the definition of continuity, bang, right here. Set up your equations. Set up your equations, bang, right here, to solve for A. Bop. Done. Yes, ma'am. 3.5, how did you, 14, 4 minus 14? Okay, why is it 14 divided by 4? I think you're doing what Emilio wanted to do which was to, okay, hold on. Algebra 2 last year, they hit this hard that we want you to find when the equation's equal to 0 and find the zeros, find the zeros, find the zeros. This is finding when these equations are equal to each other, not when this equation is 0 and this other equation is 0. Martha?
And so in the text, we have like limit of -7x plus 4a, right, limit.
I would like you to write the specific piece that is relevant and pertinent, that you would, showing me you know which one is left, which one is right. Because you guys did it backwards, some of you, not many, but some of you did it backwards when I said, you know, find this jump discontinuity, and you got the values of 14 and 16 but the wrong way. You said from the left it's going to 14, when to the left it was really going to 16. So writing those things out, being more specific is clearer.
So instead of writing each one individually, you go.
Other questions with this?
So one of the limits equals the other. Right? And then show what those limits are. Like,
Emmanuel, question on this?
No,
No?
it's just I missed one part.
Okay. All right. So find the domain and range of the original one, find the inverse, and then tell me what is the domain and range of the inverse.
She wrote this one, which is the limit, first equation. This one. She wrote this. That's right. Right. This one is supposed to be a right, I think. The left. Other
Is
equation.
Emmanuel usually next to you, or Emmanuel, who's normally, Fernando, who's normally next to you? You sit in both seats, like alternate days?
Oh yeah,
No, that was because of the Danish students.
Where was he from?
One of them, the first one was from Italy and
I swear.
That's like
I
one
thought
per
it was
day.
the same
No, it was in the same one. They're all blonde, but like that's not really what you tell. So you equal it to this, right? You equal them to each other
Okay, so I would say.
of you write the equation, right?
Plus 4, right?
Negative 7 times negative 2, so it's 4a or x.
Clara, what's the domain of my original question?
Yep, this is the.
What x values can go
Then you
in?
reduce that to,
All of them? Is it,
oh, this is 3x squared minus 8. Well, I didn't put the negative 2 as well.
okay, do you guys agree? She said everything greater than negative 2. Including or not including negative 2?
You equal them to each other. Yeah, you equal them to each other and then you
Okay,
reduce.
when I put negative 2
You
in,
reduce it as much as possible.
can I do square root of 0? Does something times itself equal 0? 0. Oh, so square root of 0 is 0, so square bracket.
Negative 2.
So it just takes a minute to think about it. What does it mean to square root? All right. Okay, what things come out? Ciela, what comes out of this function? What's the lowest y value?
That's
Right,
when I reduce 2.
0, including 0 or not? Including. All right. At the beginning, well, not the beginning, but we have done transformations. So there is, guys, too much talking, please. We've done transformations, and we asked, like, you should know what square root looks like. And this is square root shifted 2 units to the left. And you can verify, okay, the domain, Clara says, you can't do square roots of negatives, you can do square root of 0, so the domain is negative 2 bigger and bigger. Ciela said the smallest number that comes out of that function is 0, including 0 on up. Okay, so Ahmed, how do I find the inverse of this function? What's the first step to finding an inverse?
f of negative x. So you just swap the x and the y.
As a function, what I'm asking you guys to do, trade X and Y. Hosea, what do I do from here? I traded X and Y, swapped these, and I didn't call it Y, I called it F inverse. I need to get F inverse out of the little check mark thing, and I need to get that 2 off of it. Square both sides. Mache, what's next? I need to get F inverse alone. What is still with it? The +2. How do I get rid of +2? Subtract. So, do I have, is this the inverse? Yes, this is the inverse. And visually, Alex, visually, evens fold over the y-axis, odds spin around the origin, inverses fold over what?
Y-axis.
No, that makes it even. Nava?
Y equals X.
Y equals X. And if you wanted to get some coordinates, the X and the Y change. This coordinate was -2, 0, so the coordinate 0, -2 is going to be on my function. The coordinate 1, 1 is on the original equation, trading the X and Y, which I still like. So that's what the inverse looks like. Looks like half of a parabola. Half of a parabola. The function, the inverse was x squared minus 2. And Ray, why is it only half of a parabola?
Because if you kept it going, it would be not 1-to-1.
Okay, perfect. I understood, but you guys probably didn't. Because if we did the other side of the parabola, it's going to fail the horizontal line test. So the domain of the inverse. Sophie, what's the domain of the inverse? What numbers can go into this?
0 to infinity.
She was about to say -infinity to infinity, because we can square any number. But because it's this guy's inverse, she's right. We trade the range, that guy's range becomes domain, and that guy's domain becomes this guy's range. Yes?
If the inverse, what was I gonna say? The inverse isn't failing the vertical line test, why do we still have to restrict the domain?
By the nature of it being an inverse, I could never have put in a -18 in here. So, it's because the original function was just not allowed to have those things in it.
So then, for example, if it was the other way around, we still have to restrict the domain.
So if this, if
If
my,
it was square root instead.
if my original equation was this, I would have had to cut it off at its vertex to be allowed to have an inverse.
But we didn't do that before.
We did, but this one we started off with the thing that was already restricted. This green function passes the vertical line test and the horizontal line test, so its inverse isn't gonna have any issue. It's gonna be clean and not need restrictions, but we need to know that. All right. Your test tomorrow. Things that you need to know, lots of things. Everything in the packet, page 1 to 42. Pages, the last 4 pages on there, 5, are the review. It's kind of the summary of all the things. So checking those out, doing the delta math, and I have another worksheet for you to look over. The test tomorrow is not reassessable. It is the reassessment for quiz 1, but only if you've done corrections. Do you guys have any specific questions on stuff before I give you another review sheet that's challenging?
Could we do quiz corrections and do the review sheet?
We turn in,
You have options. You may not just sit here and talk.
We turn in quiz 2.
Can we do quiz corrections?
You can turn in quiz 1 and 2 tomorrow.
We turn it tomorrow.
What's I waiting for?
No, you need to turn it in tomorrow for the test. Yes.
But I'm not gonna.
So, guys, I have asked you to lunch today.
Got you, don't worry.
Come in, but I'm not sure.
Wait, were you?
However, if
Or favorite broadcast.
You tried your best.
I've already gone to travel.
I've always been just trying to let you know. Should I didn't like it.
I need to cut it off.
I got my language credits and I mean, I feel kind of bad because like my parents speak Spanish and Portuguese and stuff, so I should probably learn. In first period? Yeah. Yeah, she said she texted her teacher, but her teacher did not see it until after she emailed her parents. That's fun. She said you guys weren't gonna do anything.
Oh, we didn't do anything. Like I was in the studio checking calls.
To be fair, she did look for her teacher to get a pass, and no one was there before school. But your bag was there, she said.
My backpack was there, but they didn't get an SD card. I went to go find the certificate. Because the camera didn't work.
I love this guy. Such a real person.
Okay, this. Okay.
I'm so jealous. He's such a real He knows like all the music.
We broke the camera, but he's not gonna be part to fix it.
Wow. He's very smart man. I was really rude to him. I really am. I wasn't trying to. I rarely am. That's not true. How would you know that? You
Ahmed, you have the worksheet. Okay.
How was your weekend?
Yes. The -6 plus 8. That's 2.
What?
You did.
What genre? You a big fan or casual? Anything else? It's 2 whole days and one like 2-hour concert is the only thing.
Which is kind of annoying because like I literally bought black. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Who else needs the worksheet? Does everybody have one? Okay.
Wait, what do you guys like actually need?
2 seconds.
I did church stuff mostly.
Oh, okay. That's what I added like last year.
X cubed plus 17x. Yep. Then we used to state a new function. That's they're all in the process. I know,
It's like not long. Like when I look at it, I'm like,
yeah.
so like I pulled up and like that's perfect. She should put
Is this the level of difficulty of the stuff that's in
Yeah. Make sure the
The
negative.
Delta Math had someone more like.
This is for quiz.
Wait, no. It should be, hold on. It should be, it didn't.
Oh, they're gonna
Still
be.
be-
If
If it's a hard round, then it's over 0.
How old are you?
Can't have 0 in the
I love my flash.
It's my sister's birthday today.
Oh, yeah. I love
guess I will
it.
see
I
you
love this
later.
so much.
Do you have any siblings?
Thank you.
Abraham, I got the antivirus.
The antivirus is crazy. A little too relatable.
It's so relatable. What are you touching?
No, I'm saying you said to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, honestly, that's so different from me. I have only younger siblings. They're really young. So I guess for them,
Wait, what's the age difference between you and your siblings?
my youngest sibling, the age difference is 9 years.
Oh, yeah, my
So
sister
right now she's like,
you basically.
right now she's 6. But I, two other sisters. And I have a brother. A lot of us. I have too many.
No, my mom did not
Oh,
do
yeah.
anything with like more than 2. She was actually
Is the other one older or younger?
younger.
So you're hurting his hand.
Well, what am I
You can't
supposed
bend
to
his
do?
finger backwards.
But if I do it like that,
Yeah.
it's not the same. It's not the same
Do you
grade.
have a hand on
I stole it from a friend because it was I don't know, she had it on an epic pad and I would rather her not.
Wait, it was an EpiPen?
Okay, but it wasn't for real, so I
Do
couldn't do it.
you say, hey, can you give me hands? Come on, how often are you gonna use that joke?
Okay. I don't know, it was probably from some type of like figure or whatever,
You can
right?
put it on a figure and then put it on that one.
Yeah, then just.
How rude.
You know what she said?
She said that.
Yeah, well, the hand actually helps hold it because
But that's not what it's made for?
it's not at all what it's made for, it just fits. It's just the cheese like
You
that.
gotta get a really tiny one to put on the finger of that one.
It's or tiny one.
It's just like two fingers and then put one on each side.
And I don't know, it just happened to work. I tried it doing in English and I was like, damn, what the hell? I just discovered America in a glass of water.
No, where's the library room? I'm gonna be lost.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Can I take a bus
Guy's
there?
in pain. Breaking his fingers.
3 o'clock?
It's not funny. Or at least not.
What time then?
You can't tell most people's Chinese based on the hand.
What? Oh, you said, I gave you a ride and that's what I did. You said on God. You said on God. You said on God.
Yeah.
You don't have work. Huh? No, you don't. No, you don't.
I am out of the math.
Bro, come on.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I know.
I'll take it. I'll get you Chipotle. Huh? We'll get Chipotle and I got Chipotle. Huh? Is she? Depends on the test.
No, also next year.
Is she? But look.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys need to do some work rather than just argue.
Yeah.
So, Fernando, where's your worksheet? You are certainly not done, and if you are, by all means, feel free to put the answers up on the board with complete and accurate solutions. Oh,
It wasn't
silence.
the wood.
Okay, get to work. Thank you. Because if you're done, get up and help people. If you're just being mouthy, shut up. With all due respect.
As long as it's with respect. I've said that for my entire life, it's so mean.
Yeah.
Or is that just?
Wait, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
Question. With long divisions of long
How
answer
great is
here.
boss?
Okay.
But
Solve
thank
it.
you, thank you for your finding of the slant asymptote and remainder.
I did wrong, so just copy.
It's negative x, but it's negative attached to the square root, right? So would it be, when I want to move this over, would that have to be y, then 1 half?
That one has
Would it be y to the negative second?
So, if you multiply both sides by negative 1, why.
Oh, I see.
Can I see what
I mean,
problem
you're wanting to get rid of the negative. How do you get rid of the negative? You're going to multiply by 3 is multiplying the square root. However, by square both sides, like, what's negative 3 times negative 3? Positive. So if you square both sides, y times y is y. Negative square root of blah times square root of blah becomes just positive blah. Y squared is positive
So
blah.
then, okay, so it's literally just 4.
It's just y squared.
Yeah, you did that
And
correct.
the things that are underneath.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that answers it. I just had to hard
Right, do you mind showing me like how we go from this to this? Like, I can see how you get there, but how do you get there? How do
No,
you
no,
get
no,
there?
it is. You're making it so that it's.
The vertical line test is the easiest one. So you got a problem, right?
Well, that one, it's just an answer. You didn't end up
So you have
with
parabola.
X's in the end. I'm telling you.
This parabola goes like this. The vertical line test is to check if it's a function. So you just write a straight line in every single part of the function. If you don't actually do that, and if it crosses the point more than once, right?
Well, it's not a function. That's still a lot.
Just write it every one on the function. It's an imaginary test, right? An example of something that isn't a function is a circle. Because you can write a circle on a graph, right?
Because it folded
They don't
away.
equate.
Or odd symmetry, because you turn it upside down, actually.
See, it crosses at 2 points. That means it's not a function.
Why?
It only does it once, right? So this is what's the horizontal line test is to check if it's 1 to 1. So if I input 1 x value, it's gonna give me 1 single y value, right? So an example of one that passes a horizontal line test is 2 to the x.
So much easier to
An exponential, right? I write a single line everywhere on this graph, and it's only gonna be 1.2. Right? X equals 1, 2 to the first is 2, 2 to the 2 is 4, etc. The problem is that
oh yeah, I saw that.
because you're going to draw this
It's all like larger than life.
yeah. There's 2 inputs that you can put. You can say negative 2, for example.
How do we go from this right here to that right there?
Okay, so the
That
question
means
was,
this is not.
find the function, which is this right here. That's done. Then there is a second part of the question. Now looking at this right here, the function that you found, what are all the x values that you're allowed to plug in? Anything.
I believe you said next.
How do
You
you
asked
know
me
it?
something else?
The domain, is there anything, am I doing square root of negative anywhere in that equation that you would have?
Horizontal test is
Square root
such as
anywhere? No.
this.
So that's not a problem. Am I dividing by anybody?
This one it only touches 1.
So I can't divide by 0, get the square root of a negative.
So there's anything, if there's anything, if there's any, like any, if it doesn't have negative, if it doesn't have square root or divide, then we're good? Alright.
But they were all just like characters. They were all just like easy. I trust him. And you helped me a little bit too. So do I have to probably sign it? No, that's okay. Person. Yes, sir.
One place where it's not defined.
So I quote from negative infinity to 2.5 is
2.25 and then 2.25 on your positive.
I know, I literally have
Not even. And then if it's hot, put your finger on the origin. Up bubble, down bubble. Like this one.